They lied to you. New Year's Day is false.
Did you know that January 1st is not really the new year?
January is not the new year.
Are we all on the same page now that January 1st is not the real new year? It's not the natural new year? Does everybody know this? I don't know if we all know this yet.
Let's talk about the origins of New Year's, the facts that most people don't know.
As billions celebrate the new year, few are aware that this moment, at the stroke of midnight, is when the fabric of time is said to be most vulnerable.
I'm about to break down the rituals they do every year that we still haven't caught on to yet.
This Simpsons predictions for 2025 are here, and they are really creepy.
In a world of shadows, the truth hides. They control the narrative, but here we uncover the hidden truths. Today, we dive into the untold mysteries that they don't want you to know. From the depths of classified files to the whispers of hidden agendas, we bring you the facts. Buckle up as we expose the concealed and unravel the enigmatic. This is Null Point.
Welcome to Null Point, the show that pulls back the curtain on the unexplained, the overlooked, and the unbelievable. I'm your host, Avery Iverson, and today I'm bringing you videos that spark curiosity, challenge assumptions, and leave you with a lingering what if. Let's jump into it.
They lied to you. New Year's Day is false.
In a couple days' time, everyone is going to be mindlessly celebrating New Year's. However, there is a massive issue with this. New Year's isn't actually on January 1st. In fact, every ancient calendar since the beginning of time all ran off the celestial calendar, which is actually a 13th month cycle. God implanted this wisdom on the turtle shell. Every single turtle shell has 28 sections on the outside and 13 sections on the inside. This represents our lunar calendar. And this is the calendar that all of our ancestors used. So there are 28 days per lunar cycle and 13 cycles per year, which actually makes April 1st New Year's Day. And it is no coincidence that they call this April Fool's Day, because you have all been played for fools. Now, going back to the turtle shell, this would represent 364 days plus 1 day of rest. The sun, the moon, and the stars are all one big calendar. This is why every 365 days, the constellations align in the exact same spot since the beginning of time. Which, by the way, is impossible if we're doing this, just another lie they fed you. Now, women that are in tune with the divine feminine that don't take birth control are always in tune with the lunar cycles as far as their menstrual cycles are concerned. Our predecessors have subtracted 1 month out of the year to sever our connection with the sun, the moon, and the stars. But I have not been fooled, and neither should you. Peace and love.
Did you know that January 1st is not really the new year? Now, I know many of you are still going to celebrate January 1st being the new year, but let's look at this from a common sense standpoint. If you look at it, we're in winter right now. Spring is typically known as new beginnings. So why are we celebrating New Year's in winter when spring is actually the new year? You wouldn't start planting things in winter and expect for it to grow, correct? That's typically what spring is for. So why is it that we celebrate New Year's in winter? Because what it really represents is the fiscal new year. A fiscal year is a 1 year period that companies and governments use for financial reporting and budgeting, which is why it's so-called tax season. A fiscal year is most commonly used for accounting purposes to prepare financial statements. And since the United States is a federal corporation, this is why it has its citizens doing their tax statements at the fiscal new year. Winter is the season for hibernating and the season of death, which is why things don't grow in winter, which is why it's all cold and represents death. So the best time to do New Year's resolution would be on March 21st, which is the new year. But hey, continue to do what you do. I'm just here to let you know some common sense.
One of my coworkers was telling me how the Gregorian calendar that we abide by now was actually invented by the church 500 years ago to suppress our natural rhythms and further take control over people's lives, and that the true new year is actually in the spring, not the dead of winter when we should be hibernating. And that's why so many New Year's resolutions end up dying by March, because that's when the new year is actually starting. And I haven't done any research on whether that's true, because it just feels true, and I'm going to roll with that. So if you want to continue hibernating with me, harvesting your energy and your dreams, we'll be ready to bloom by spring.
My guy, Alright, so someone asked if I could talk about the actual calendar and the real new year. So first I'm going to start off by telling y'all that there are actually 13 months. And if you pay attention, all of it makes sense. Remember how I told y'all that us and nature are connected? We're all connected. This is what I mean by that. So actually listen to what I'm about to say. The moon cycles every 28 days. And if you pay attention, when a woman is pregnant, they only count her pregnancy every 28 days. And they count by 4 weeks. 4 weeks in this month, 4 weeks in that month. And that's why when you count the weeks, it go by 7, 14, 21, 28. And the reason why I say we actually have 13 months is because if we have 13 months instead of 12, each month will have 28 days. So not only do the moon have a 28-day cycle, but don't us women have a 28-day cycle when it comes to our period? Not only that, God calls the moon a her. So the moon itself is represented as a female. So you got the women's menstrual cycle that's every 28 days, just like the moon cycle is every 28 days. So the moon is represented as a she, and it has a 28-day cycle, just like us, females, we have a 28-day cycle. Keep up, I'm trying to show you how we connected to nature. The only month that's actually truthful that we go by is February. That's the only month that actually has 28 days. All those other months, if all those months go to 28 days instead, it will make an extra month that will also have 28 days. So we will have 13 months that all have 28 days, which is actually for the missing month that we are supposed to have. April 1st, which is April Fools, is symbolic to them fooling you into thinking that January 1st is the actual new year. But like I told y'all, we are connected to nature. Nature shows us that the real new year is in spring. Nature shows us that the real new year is when the earth starts to come alive again. The trees, the grass, and the flowers begin to blossom and grow back. Our energy is connected to nature. Our energy actually begins to shift with nature also. The new year is actually based off the seasons. And spring is the new season. January is not the new year. This is all some fake stuff that's going on, and they got y'all programmed. Like for real, how could January be the new year and it ain't representing no change? No new life, no growth. We are connected to nature. No matter what y'all try to lie about, what lies they put into y'all, or what y'all don't want to believe in, no matter what you want to believe in, we connected to nature regardless of what y'all say. God created us, God created nature. We are supposed to align with each other. 13 months instead of 12 will be exactly 28 days in each month. The first will always be a Monday, and the 28th will always be a Sunday. Every month will have exactly 4 weeks, and we will properly align ourselves with the moon cycle. Moon cycle, 28 days. Menstrual cycle, 28 days. Days of the month, 28 days. September came from an old Roman word called septem, meaning 7, which was originally the 7th month. October came from the Latin and Greek word oct, meaning 8, which was originally the 8th month. November came from the Latin word novem, meaning 9, which was originally the 9th month. December came from the Latin word decem, meaning 10, which was originally the 10th month. So September is actually the 7th month. October is actually the 8th month. Why do you think they call it an octopus an octopus? Oct stands for 8. An octopus has 8 tentacles. They call it an octopus for a reason, because it stands for 8 at the beginning. November is really the 9th month, and December is actually the 10th month. So for us to call September the 9th month, October the 10th month, and so on, that's a bold-faced lie. because it's not true. What I'm trying to tell y'all is at the end of the day, nature tells us the real time. And God made us the way we are and made nature the way it is for a reason. And we supposed to properly align with nature. Y'all have to realize we didn't have clocks and stuff back then. We followed nature. Nature told us the time. And until this day, nature tells us the time. God made us the way we are for a reason, the same way he made nature the way it is for a reason. So like I always said, Romans 3 and 4, let God be the truth and every man a liar.
Are we all on the same page now that January 1st is not the real New Year? It's not the natural New Year. Does everybody know this? I don't know if we all know this yet. That the New Year is really supposed to be in spring, and that the powers that be took over the calendar to our natural time and control us. No, is that a conspiracy theory? No, anybody? Because it's like, why is October not the 8th month? You didn't think about how come September is not the 7th month? Okay, look it up. Just look it up. Also, so many cultures around the world, they celebrate New Year's in the spring because that is when things start again. Things come back to life again.
Fools are celebrating 3 months too soon.
Let's talk about the origins of New Year's, the facts that most people don't know. See, New Year's was a celebration that was dedicated to this Greek god Janus. The description of Janus, the god of all beginning, gates, transition, time, choice, duality, doorways, passages, and endings. And this Greek god was described as having two faces, one facing the future and one facing the present, or as the celebration is known today as New Year's. Something else that I find very strange while researching this god Janus. Janus presided over the beginning and endings of conflicts, and hence war and peace. I find that very interesting considering that everybody is saying that we're on the brink of World War III. The whole month of January was named after this Greek god. The name, Janus. And the people that decided to not worship this god, they called them the April Fools. That just goes to show you people are unknowingly still worshiping gods of the old world. Y'all, let me know what y'all think about the origins of New Year's in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. Follow me on YouTube if y'all want that exclusive content and stay tapped in.
About New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and we see these greetings going out, but whose New Year's is it? Because it's not the 1st of Muharram, so it's definitely not the Islamic New Year. If you look at years and how they're organized, every culture, every religion has their own calendar. There's a Chinese calendar, which is lunar. There's a Jewish calendar, which is also lunar. There is the Islamic calendar that begins on the 1st of Muharram, and it's not from the Sunnah to celebrate the 1st of Muharram either. So whose New Year's is on January 1st? If we look at the historic research done by the National Geographic Society in the book An Uncommon History of Common Things, we find that this New Year's that we find it celebrated today in the world was started in Babylon. in Babylon, there was an 11-day celebration around what is now called January 1st. What was this celebration for? It was a ritual to worship the idol Marduk, their chief god. And this Marduk ritual was where there were parades, ringing a bell, New Year's Day parade. There were plays, there was worship, there was sacrifices to the fidelity gods. And this was something that was done as a pagan idol worshipping ritual. Now, in 46 BC, and that is before Jesus, this is not something that even has to do with Christianity. Julius Caesar in the Roman Empire took this Babylonian ritual and made January the first month and named Augustus, August, all these after the Roman pagan gods and people. When Christianity came to Rome, according to the National Geographic Society, they tried to condemn this. They tried to stop this idol worshipping holiday, but they were unable to. So today we see a part of the Western society, and even in the East, and even unfortunately in the Middle East and in Africa, we see people celebrating this celebration, not realizing that in fact it is an idol worshipping religious festival. That is why for any Muslim or Christian or Jew or whoever wants to follow their religion, they will not celebrate this idol worshipping holiday on the eve of the 31st of December or on the 1st of January. This is not our New Year. This is a day that was for sacrifice and worship of idols.
As billions celebrate the New Year, few are aware that this moment, at the stroke of midnight, is when the fabric of time is said to be most vulnerable. Conspirators believe that secretive organizations, possibly equipped with advanced technology or occult knowledge, conduct annual rituals or activate devices to reset or alter the timeline subtly. The goal: to shape global events, erase mistakes, or even extend their power and influence.
I'm about to break down the rituals they do every year that we still haven't caught on to yet. The ritual they do every year always start on the winter solstice. Because on the winter solstice, a lot of energy hit the planet. They want to use that energy for what they want to use it for. But since they want to do mass rituals, they need mass energy. Christmas is the first thing they use to gather a bunch of people energy, right? Then you got New Year's a few days after. Even though we know the real New Year's is during spring when the planet finally wakes up. But y'all don't know that. Y'all just go keep celebrating the pagan holidays, not knowing what y'all energy being used for. So right after New Year's, that's when they get their last bit of energy from the people. Now it's time to commence the ritual. Let's go ahead and start from 2020. January 10, 2020, coronavirus outbreak. January 2020, Trump killed the Iraqi leader. January 2020, Kobe Bryant died. And the whole year after that was so fucked up because they had enough energy to basically ruin the whole year. Let's go to the next year, 2021. That's when the Capitol storm and all kind of stuff happened with the Biden administration, all that stuff that happened last year. And the rest of the 2021 was basically shitty. Now guess what they about to do this year? They already starting January 11th, the whole fucking flight thing grounded, and Biden say we gonna have another coronavirus outbreak. So congratulations, y'all fed another ritual from celebrating all these fake holidays.
New Year's origins and rituals. Do they reveal a past far darker than the ball drop suggests?
This Simpsons predictions for 2025 are here, and they are really creepy. This one is about the fallen angels, so make sure you watch it all to protect yourself and your family. In a recent episode, Lisa discovers something really creepy while digging on an archaeological site. They predicted many events regarding the future, from predicting the rise of the Apple virtual reality glasses to the viral episode with the rapture. But the last one is really chilling because they predicted the discovery of an ancient angel. Last year, a man discovered something resembling a statue while digging up a site in Russia. The statue is really fascinating because it looks like a petrified fallen angel. This caught the attention of many humans because it could represent one of the fallen angels that corrupted the earth in our distant and unexplored past. As the Simpsons have said, the Bible have confirmed this as well. In the book of Genesis, the angels who did not listen to the word of God were banished, and they found refuge here on earth. therefore becoming the fallen angels, who corrupted and manipulated the people from that time. They also made children with the woman of the earth, therefore the giants known as Nephilim were born. They were the cause of the great flood. Could this statue be one of the fallen angels? The Simpsons usually does a really good job at showing us fragments of our future or of our past. So this prediction about the fallen angel might become reality. We just have to wait and see. Keep this video saved to confirm this prediction, and follow us so you can be updated with new Simpsons predictions.
You go to bed every night at 10 o'clock, except on New Year's Eve, when you go to bed at 8:30, because, and I quote, New Year's is a holiday invented by the media. It is!
That's it for this episode of Null Point. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed the dive into the strange and unexplained, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. You'll want to be here when we uncover even more truths that make you question everything. Until next time, stay curious, stay open-minded, and keep seeking the answers others overlook.
If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Stay curious and question everything. Until next time, we'll see you at the Null Point.